In today's episode, I've been thinking about Instagram for lawyers. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Been Thinking, my video series on design, creativity and marketing in the legal services sector. In today's video, I'm really excited to be answering my first viewer question, which was sent in on Twitter by the awesome duo at Ergo Law in Edinburgh, Scotland. They asked about Instagram. Should lawyers use it? And what kind of content are people looking for from their law firms on that particular platform? I'm going to answer the question in two parts. In this video, I'm going to talk about the strategy of how you might approach Instagram, and in a second video, I'm going to walk you through the very practical steps that I'd take to plan out an Instagram campaign for a boutique law firm like Ergo Law. I hope that the two videos together will give you both the theoretical foundations and the practical knowledge to succeed at promoting your law firm on this platform. So the first part of the question was, should lawyers use Instagram? And I guess I've already spoiled the punchline by telling you that there's a second video on how to use it. But I think it's worth exploring how we would evaluate Instagram as a marketing channel, because the same theories will apply to any other marketing channel that you might be thinking of using. The key question is, does the platform have the attention of people that you'd like to reach? And if it does, do you have the wherewithal to provide value to those people in a format that's appropriate to the platform? In the case of Instagram, it's videos and photos, and in others it might be text, speech, or something else yet to be invented. So more specifically, you could ask, are there people on Instagram who have a need for the type of services you offer, and do they have the capacity to buy them? Instagram is a community of over 500 million users, and with 500 million people to choose from, I think there's a good chance that any law firm will be able to find a niche for their content. The best way to know for sure though is through research, and for this, Instagram's search tools are your closest ally. Instagram lets you search for people, places, tags, and what's popular. If geography forms an important part of your firm's positioning, then the places search will help you find what people are posting nearby. Just enter the place name and see what comes up. You're looking to see if there's an active community of users in your area and whether you can add value to that community. But what if your practice area covers a very wide geographic area, or if geography is not important to your positioning at all? Well, that's where tags come in. Users on Instagram use tags to help new people find their posts. They are written as a single word without spaces, and they start with the hash symbol, and they can be any word you choose. Finding all the important keywords for your specialism is one of the real keys to success on Instagram, and finding them is something of an art form. Type a word relevant to your target audience into the search box, and you'll start to see a list of tags come up, along with the number of posts associated with that tag. Click on any that seem relevant and you'll be able to explore the types of content being posted within that tag. The top 9 posts shown are the most popular for that tag, and all the rest are shown in chronological order. Click into each of the top 9 posts and then scroll down to the description to see what other tags people are using. I really recommend that you spend time exploring your specialism through its tags. Not only will you get a feel for the size of the audience, but also you'll start to get an understanding for the type of content that's popular and whether you think you'll be able to add value to those people. You can use the tags and places searches to help you get found by people who don't necessarily already know you. But Instagram will also let you search for users by name. If you've been watching my videos for a while now, you'll know that I think lawyers who have high value professional services to sell can do very well on social media, even if they have quite small audiences. Oftentimes it can take just 1 or 2 instructions from the right client to make the whole of your social media activity worthwhile. If that sounds like it could apply to you, then find the people responsible for making that buying decision and engage with them on whatever social media platform they use. Now, I'm not suggesting that you stalk or harass anybody online, but find the people who could have a transformative impact to your firm, listen to what they're saying, and create great content that helps them achieve their goals. Instagram's people search is where you find out if the people you need to reach are paying attention on this platform. Do all the research I've just described and then decide for yourself whether Instagram has an audience that you'd like to connect with. If it does, then now's the time to think about what to post. Like any social media platform, Instagram will only work for you if you show up regularly and contribute to the community. Flicking through other people's posts is not a social media strategy. You really do have to take part. And on Instagram, that means having a plan for your stream, your grid, stories, and direct messages. Let's talk about each one of those now. So I think anyone who's used Instagram before will be familiar with the stream. It's the same basic mechanism as any other social media platform. You post your content and they come up on your profile and in your followers' feeds. Your strategy for the stream is pretty obvious. You just need to keep in mind that people are flicking through quickly and you need to create images that stand out. What often doesn't get as much attention is how your images look together as a collection when somebody looks on your profile. I'm not sure what the technical term for this is, but I call it the grid. The grid is the view people will be looking at when they're deciding whether or not to follow you. They'll use it to assess what sort of value they can expect to receive in return for their attention. I think you need to give as much attention to how your images look as a collection as you do to the individual posts. Do they tell a coherent story about what you or your firm stands for? Are you being creative and interesting in the images you choose to post, or is your feed just an ever-growing collection of adverts? I think you should plan all your posts with the grid in mind. That might sound extreme and a lot of work, but it's this attention to detail that makes the difference on Instagram. The grid and the stream are the original features of Instagram. More recently, they added Stories, a feature directly copied from Snapchat. Stories is a collection of images and 5-second videos that are displayed to your audience in slideshow format. Unlike the images you post to your stream, Stories are not saved permanently and they disappear after 24 hours. Stories present something of a dilemma for law firms. Instagram seems to value them very highly at the moment and they feature very prominently in the interface. Posting regularly to your story almost guarantees you'll appear at the top of your followers' feed, highlighted by a bright orange circle. They are a surefire way to get attention. The downside is that it requires you to post constantly throughout the day, and because the images disappear after 24 hours, there's no residual value in the images you post. There is a ton of branding potential for firms who are willing to update their story throughout the day, and there are certainly some hacks you can use to streamline the process. But there is no doubt that the benefits of Stories come with a fairly hefty administrative burden. The final feature that Instagram offers that will be of interest to law firm marketers is the direct messaging tool. These are private, one-to-one direct messages you can send to other users. But what's interesting is that unlike other social media networks, you don't need to be friends with a particular user in order to be able to send them a message. This makes them extremely useful for getting targeted, personalised messages out to individual users without cluttering up your feed with content that other people might not find interesting. If you're very short of work and need to make it rain quickly, then Instagram direct messages may be a really good place to start. Just don't, whatever you do, be spammy. It's about tailored, personalised, one-to-one communications that wins the direct message game. So far, we've talked about how to find out if there is an audience for your content on Instagram, and I've taken you through some of the main features that you might want to use to market your firm. The second part of Ergo Law's question was, what kind of content should you share? So let's take a look at that next. Whenever you approach any new marketing channel, you should approach it with the intention to create value for your audience in return for their attention. I like to think of it as if your marketing channels are TV stations. If you were to watch an hour-long program on commercial television, you might expect to have 3 advert breaks of 5 minutes each, totaling 15 minutes of adverts. The ratio of valuable content to advertising is 3:1. I think you should have that ratio in mind as the maximum amount of self-interested content you put out on your channels. All the rest should be valuable content. On Instagram in particular, I think the magic number is 1 to 8. You post 8 pieces of selfless, valuable content in return for the right to post one salesy type message. The reason I suggest 1 to 8 on Instagram is that you want to be in a position where there's never more than one sales message in the first 9 images displayed on the grid on your profile when someone's deciding whether or not to follow you. That provides reassurance that your content will be valuable and that they won't be bombarded with spammy messages if they choose to follow. So I keep mentioning valuable content, and that raises the question, what exactly is value? And I think it boils down to 2 things. Your post should either teach people something they don't know, or they should be a source of entertainment. The precise nature and content of those posts lies at the intersection of what your audience is interested in and what you or your firm wants to be known for. This is where a huge amount of creativity and an agency like mine comes into play. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through the exact process I would take to plan out the Instagram content for a boutique employment law firm. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it was much longer than normal. Please do hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so you'll get notifications for the next video. Like and share the video if you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.